Do you vote?
Yeah.
And did you vote for the Great White Hope?
I did not.
And why not?
Well, I never thought that he would be a good president. I mean, just because you're good on TV, does not make you good for a country.
And now that he's done good, are you going to vote for him the second time around?
I would never vote for him.
Really?
No.
Why not?
He just is not my cup of tea.
What's wrong with him?
I think he says very ignorant things sometimes.
Like what, for example?
Very divisive things. Like when you consider people from Mexico rapists or criminals, or the things that he said calling like Africa and places in the Caribbean as whole countries and things like that. Those are very divisive things.
Right.
And I just don't agree with it.
Were they true things?
No.
They were not true?
Everyone, every race, every demographic, they have bad and good people. So to categorize everyone in one bunch, I don't necessarily agree with that all the time.
Did you personally hear what he said? This is based on what someone says he said.
No, I do my own research. I don't just go by hearsay.
And so, but he didn't say all the illegal alien was rapists. He said that coming across the borders, you have rapists and murders and all that kind of stuff, and that is taking place. There are a lot of Hispanic women who have been raped along the way, children and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, but he didn't say everyone.
But still, the way he phrases it, it comes off very divisive. And if you have a collection of people feeling that way, you kind of have to pay attention to it. Maybe it's not his intent behind the statement, but how he stated it.
Right. But so if you're telling the truth, how should you state the truth?
If that's how he feels that's his truth, I can't judge him for that, but I also don't have to agree with it.
Even if it's true?
I don't agree that building a wall is going to solve all our problems, or the things that he says about Mexicans or Hispanics are going to solve all of our problems.
But you do agree that with an open border, you have rapists and murderers and robbers and some that are not coming across, right?
I think when you have an over concentration of population in any area, you're going to have crime.
Right.
It doesn't matter if they're coming across the border, boat, airplane, we're born here.
Right.
And which is another concern. What are you going to do about the domestic terrorists in this country that do the mass shootings and things of that?
Right.
These are not illegal people that are killing children and stuff like that in their schools or movie theaters.
And so do you agree with him, though, that there are rapists and murderers and some good folks coming across the borders?
There are some bad with the good, yeah.
Yeah.
There are
And
some
so
bad
you
people.
agree with him then?
No, I don't agree that he should build the wall and all the other things, but I do agree that there are some bad seeds in the apple sometimes.
So that's what I'm responding to right now. I'm asking about right now. When he made that statement, that is a true statement, right?
Sometimes. I don't think you should generalize it.
But when he made the statement, it's a true statement.
If he's generalizing it, no.
I don't know what you
agree
mean
with
by
that.
generalizing.
By
He just
saying
made the
that
statement.
all Mexicans or all people that cross the border are like this.
But he didn't say all.
But the way he worded it, it came off that way.
And
So
give me-
for that, I cannot agree with him.
Really?
Right.
Even though he said, and you just agreed, there are rapists and murderers and
Right, there are
drug
some.
dealers and some that are good coming across the border.
There are some good people as well. There are
Yeah.
also independent business owners and mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters and college students too.
And so you do agree then? You don't want to agree with him?
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really
But why
like it. I don't.
So even though he said the truth, because you dislike him, you don't want to agree, even though it's true.
I don't agree with the way he words it. There's a lot of times when you hear people say things, like for example, going with Eminem, that's my favorite rapper.
Right.
That doesn't mean that everything he said about Trump, I'll be like, oh yeah, just because I like
That's
him,
right.
because I don't like the way he worded it. So the way he worded it, I'm not gonna agree with that statement.
Are you in support of putting up a big, beautiful wall around the border?
If he wants to put that wall up, he better do it with his own money.
But you're okay with it? You agree with it?
No, I think it's a waste of time and money, because if people really want to come here, they're still going to come here.
Right. But through the front door, they won't come in so many numbers at one time. The wall will stop
Then
that.
he can pay for it. It's like anytime you want to put an addition to your house, you're going to pay for it. You want to change the door? Oh, this screen door doesn't lock properly. I need me a big old oak door with the double lock. You got to pay for it, so you pay for
A
it.
lot of the illegals, most of the illegals are coming in and they're getting free houses, free food,
Right.
free education, free everything. And they tend to have babies like 90 going north. And it, and then they want to bring over every Tom, Dick, and Harry with them. And so in the long run, you're going to end up spending more money taking care of them and those who are coming than you would paying for the wall.
So why don't we reform how we accept these people in the country then?
What do you mean?
As far as, instead of just setting them up as you are saying, you know, that they're dependent on the system and
Right.
using up all these dollars, then if someone comes here legally and they are become a citizen or get their green card or worker's permit or whatever legally, show them the skills and the traits like we do any other community center so that they don't have to be dependent, they can be interdependent. And
But we're talking about illegals. They are lawbreakers because they break the law to come here, which make them criminals, and you don't want to reward criminals, do you?
no, we don't reward criminals, but I don't think it should be that hard to necessarily be a citizen if you're a good person. Now, if you have a history of criminal activity in the country you're coming from, that's a different story.
We do agree, though, that they are criminals when they break the law by coming here across the borders illegal.
I don't know why they did that. So while it is against our law, so legally they're a criminal, I'm not going to judge them because I don't know their story.
But you know that they're criminals, all right? That's all we need to know. I don't care about their story.
According to the law, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of them are coming in and they're moving into the urban areas, the black communities. And most of these people don't like black people. Even in Mexico,
Yeah, I don't
blacks
understand
are
that.
second-class citizens. Have you noticed that they don't like blacks?
I noticed that more so when I moved here.
Right.
I had a few Mexican encounters, or Hispanic,
Yeah.
I won't just generalize,
Right.
where it was a little judgmental, which is a little confusing to me because I feel like if anything, we should be getting along.
And why do you think we should get along with them?
Well, when you're looking at the minorities in the situation, why work against each other? If they're moving into these communities, why work against each other? Why fight about it?
Because they-
if they, you know, you feel like the government doesn't want you here and we feel how we feel, why wouldn't we come together, basically?
They look down on blacks. Blacks are second-class citizens in Mexico.
Yeah.
It's a mess. And when they come in, they are overpopulating the schools in the urban areas. There are a lot of women, black women who are citizens here when they go to the hospital to try to get health care or something. The Mexicans are everywhere. And so, and so they have to wait in long lines or get no service at all. A lot of blacks have moved away from South Central LA,
I've noticed.
Compton and other places because they're under attack. Does that bother you that these illegals are coming in and they're taking the jobs, even like contracting jobs and things like that? Are you bothered that these illegals are coming in and they hate the blacks and they're just taking over the
I'm
black
bothered
area?
if anyone hates black people. It's not
Right.
necessarily the illegals. Anyone that feels like blacks are a second-class citizen, I have a problem with that. As far as the taking the jobs, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that because I have never like went into a place and there was a Hispanic person working. I'm like, damn it, if they weren't here, I'd have that job.
Well, drive over in South Central LA on Monday morning if it's not raining. You're going to see all Mexicans working contracting
And that's
jobs.
why we, as a community, need to create jobs for our own people. Then you won't have to worry
But
about
those
that.
are the black, that community belongs to the black people.
I'm saying
And
as far
also-
as us being our own business owners and things
Yeah,
like
we
that.
should do that.
Right.
And the Hispanics won't hire black people.
That's fine. I'm not
Ain't that
going to work
something?
there anyway. I mean, I find it interesting, but
Yeah.
they're probably putting their own family first, which can I really blame them for that?